guys. Today I just kind of wanted to talk about my experience recently when I went to a fair. It was actually just a couple rides, it wasn't anything big, but I was in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, if you don't know where I'm from. And they just had a little bit of an exhibition kind of thing going on. And at first I was really nervous. I didn't really want to go because I figured, you know, screaming people all cramped in one area, lining up to get on a ride, just sounded a little bit much for me. And I'm really not into crowds. I can't stand them, really. I can't stand a lot of people at once. Yeah, I can't stand a lot of people at once, and it definitely gets me really anxious and really overwhelmed. But I went anyway because I really wanted to just sort of test my limits and see how I would handle it. And I thought it'd be a good opportunity as well to kind of give you guys an idea of how I dealt with the situation, having so many people around me. And I actually went on the Gravitron, which was bad because they kind of made us wait for about 5 minutes, and I know that's not long to most people, but to somebody with anxiety or panic disorder, 5 minutes waiting for something to happen can actually become really difficult to deal with, because I find the longer I wait, the more anxious I feel, and eventually it just builds up to a panic attack. So I was kind of thinking, you know, hurry up, start the ride, let's get this over with before I change my mind. But anyway, it eventually started, and I did all right. I can't say I really enjoyed it that much, though. It was probably something I could have done without. I mean, but I'm glad I did it because it was definitely a test of patience and a test of how to deal with waiting and all that. But I guess I just tried to keep thinking, you know, this ride is only going to last about 2 or 3 minutes and then it'll be over. So when the ride was over, I was pretty nauseous. I felt pretty dizzy and weak, but I was glad I did it. As for the crowd, I mean, a sort of a trick that I use when it comes to big crowds, because I find a lot of the time my biggest fear about crowds is, what are people thinking when they look at me? You know, do they think I'm ugly? Do they think I'm weird? Do they think I look like, can they tell that I'm anxious? Can they tell that I feel awkward? Can they tell that I'm this uncomfortable? So I sort of just tried pretending to be confident. And I know pretending to be confident is not easy, because usually the only way to be confident is to be confident, basically. I guess I like to just try and like stand up really straight and keep my shoulders back and keep my head up and just sort of carry the image of somebody who feels confident in their own body. Even if I don't, I pretend like I am. And I notice that when I do that, I feel more confident. And I actually tend to get looks from people that are more, like, people look at you more in a positive way than a negative way. The thing to remember is that nobody really cares. Nobody is really looking at you. Nobody really cares what you look like or what you're thinking or how uncomfortable you are. All they're focused on is their own life and what they're doing and what their friends that are around them are doing. It's only us who perceives it to be that everybody is looking at us, but it's not true. And that's something else you gotta keep in mind. I mean, when are you ever gonna see these people again? When are you gonna ever cross paths with them again? And even if you did, what would it matter? Because they weren't paying attention to what you were doing anyway. Try and really put in perspective how significant it is to have anybody notice that you're uncomfortable. And it's not significant at all. But I guess with anxiety, regardless, things seem bigger than they are. But getting back to pretending to be confident, the amazing thing about pretending to be confident is in pretending, you can become confident. So in keeping your shoulders back, keeping your head up, not being afraid to look at people, not being afraid to make eye contact with the person that just walked by you. And just to let you know, I mean, I didn't just wake up one day and say, oh, okay, I have the answer. I'm just going to walk around and pretend to be confident and all my problems will be fixed. No, I mean, I went through 5 years not even 5 years, my whole life, pretty much. My whole life I've gone around hiding my head, not looking at anybody in the eye, avoiding crowds completely, you know, sort of shrugged over and hidden away, and making myself look as if I was inferior to everyone else because I felt inferior. And maybe some of you guys are thinking, act confident, like that's not gonna help anything, and that's fine, okay, it doesn't work for everybody, but for me, standing up straight and presenting a confident self to other people helped me feel gradually more confident. And that's pretty much all I have to say about crowds. I mean, if you guys have any good tips about dealing with crowds and how to not get overwhelmed by them, I'd love to hear about it. You know, a video response, a comment, whatever, it doesn't matter, but I'd really love to hear what you guys have to think about that. And if any of you guys have ever kind of figured that out, the kind of presenting a confident self makes you become a confident self. I don't know if any of you guys have ever sort of learned that over time or do that yourself, but if you do, let me know as well. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.